Imagine one day in the future. It's 8 a.m., you hop in your driverless car, and since it's a weekday, it knows you want to go to work. When it drops you off, the vehicle goes back home so you don't have to pay for parking, or becomes a fully automated taxi to earn money on the side. How terrific does that sound? As of today, self-driving or autonomous vehicles are still obtainable mostly in science fiction. But in a few years, with the help of thousands of miles of driving data, soon enough, you'll be the passenger rather than the driver of an autonomous vehicle. Welcome back to Autotech, and in today's video, we'll be discussing the future of electric vehicles, automation, and self-driving. Electric cars have been around a lot longer than today's Tesla or even the General Motors EV1 of the late 1990s. In fact, electric cars appeared long before the internal combustion sort, and dreamers have never stopped trying to make them work both on the road and as a business proposition. A lack of historical perspective sometimes leads to misunderstandings of how things came to be as they are now. So let's take the long view of the road that got us here. Early electric vehicles. It started in the 1830s when a man named Robert Anderson built a motorized carriage that used galvanic cell batteries that were not yet rechargeable. In 1837, Robert Davidson of Aberdeen built a prototype electric locomotive. A bigger, better version demonstrated in 1841 could go 1.5 miles at 4 miles an hour, towing 6 tons. But then it needed new batteries to function. This remarkable performance alarmed railway workers, who couldn't at the time see it as anything but a threat to their jobs tending steam engines. So, they destroyed Davidson's devil machine, which he'd named Galvani. In 1859, batteries that could be recharged were created to make the electric car idea more viable. Around 1884, inventor Thomas Parker helped deploy electric-powered trams and built prototype electric cars in England. By 1890, a Scotland-born chemist living in Des Moines, Iowa, William Morrison, applied for a patent on the electric carriage he'd built perhaps as early as 1887. It appeared in a city parade in 1888, according to the Des Moines Register. With front-wheel drive, 4 horsepower, and a reported top speed of 20 miles an hour, it had 24 battery cells that needed recharging every 50 miles. The history of electric cars. The late 19th and early 20th centuries simply bubbled with automotive inventions all over the globe. The limited market for cars, which was still mostly expensive toys for rich folk, allowed steam power to dominate, with electric cars and gas-powered vehicles trailing behind. Some brand names still familiar today dabbled in electric vehicles during this era. Ransom Eli Olds built a short run of electric horseless carriages before devising the first mass-market Oldsmobile car. And then, there's Studebaker, which had built wagons and carriages in the 19th century, but entered the 20th as an electric car manufacturer. Edison and his camping buddy, Henry Ford, also tried their hand at an electric car and built at least one prototype before both decided that the gasoline engine had a more promising future. One factor was that electricity was not yet widely available outside of city centers, severely limiting the market for cars tied to that infrastructure. Drivers could carry spare cans of gasoline for long journeys, but spare batteries were a lot heavier per unit of energy. Deliveries and taxis. Gasoline won the technology battle before World War II, and most electric car makers had either converted to internal combustion or gone out of business. But EVs still had their strengths, especially for the low-speed, short-range uses typical of urban centers. Britain maintained a fleet of electric milk floats for home delivery into the 1980s and beyond. While in post-war Japan, gasoline was scarce and expensive. The government encouraged the production of electric cars, and this 1947 Tama resides in the Nissan Museum today. It could do about 20 miles an hour with a range of 40 miles on the lead-acid batteries. Good enough for taxi duty, just as electric cars had done in New York 50 years earlier. Why have autonomous vehicles? According to Renub Research, a market research and consulting company, the U.S. autonomous vehicles market will balloon into a $186 billion industry by 2030, up from $4 billion in 2021, based on its recently published report. Along with the convenience of being driven around, autonomous cars are said to be a safer ride. That is, if human error accounts for as much as 94% of all road accidents, according to the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, then perhaps it makes sense to rely more on technology to keep us safe. A driverless car won't put its driver or others at risk in accidents caused by potentially dangerous human behaviors, or conditions like speeding, reckless driving, drowsiness, distracted driving, or impairment. Autonomous vehicles may also lead to less congestion on the roads because cars could communicate with one another and change routes based on traffic, accidents, or construction. The history of self-driving cars. The path towards self-driving cars began with incremental automation features for safety and convenience before the year 2000, with cruise control and anti-lock brakes. After the turn of the millennium, advanced safety features including electric stability control, blind spot detection, and collision lane shift warnings became available in vehicles. Between 2010 and 2016, advanced driver assistance capabilities such as rear-view video cameras, automatic emergency brakes, and lane centering assistance emerged, according to NHTSA. Since 2016, self-driving cars have moved toward partial autonomy with features that help drivers stay in their lane, along with ACC technology and the ability to self-park. How self-driving cars work. Artificial intelligence technologies powering self-driving car systems. Developers of self-driving cars use vast amounts of data from image recognition systems, along with machine learning and neural networks to build systems that can drive autonomously. The neural networks identify patterns in the data, which is fed to the machine learning algorithms. That data includes images from cameras on self-driving cars, from which the neural network learns to identify traffic lights, trees, curbs, pedestrians, street signs, and other parts of any given driving environment. In the end, the aim is to eliminate human driver error while creating more time and space for what truly matters in life and improving mobility for those who cannot drive due to age, disability, or other factors. These vehicles can sense their environment and navigate around obstacles, obey traffic laws, and reach a pre-selected destination thanks to technologies like cameras, radar, sonar, LiDAR, GPS, and infrared sensors in the vehicle. The current status of self-driving cars. Hands-off driving, or autonomous vehicles, have always been an unusual part of the future of technology. Do people need to be aware of what the vehicle is doing, or can they sit back and enjoy the ride? According to J.D. Power, there aren't any fully autonomous cars on the road in the United States yet. The Society of Automotive Engineers, or SAE for short, set a standard for ranking a vehicle's automation level to inform how drivers should handle their cars. Level 0 means a driver is in complete control of the vehicle at all times, but the vehicle may have moments of automation and alerts such as emergency braking. Level 1 needs a driver to guide the vehicle, but has another level of hands-off driving such as some steering support or brake and acceleration support like adaptive cruise control. Level 2 is very similar to Level 1, but includes both steering, brake, and acceleration support like lane centering and adaptive cruise control. Level 3 means that even though you may be in the driver's seat, you are not driving during automated functions. This level may require a driver to take over when requested. The person behind the wheel can only self-drive under certain conditions. Level 4 includes Level 3 automation, but will not prompt the driver to step in. Such a vehicle may or may not be built with pedals or a steering wheel. However, this level will not operate in severe weather. Level 5 is a fully automated vehicle and can handle driving in any condition. The only human interaction needed at this level would be to set the destination. While we do not have fully functional self-driving cars on our roads at the moment, it is clear that car manufacturers are tilting towards that direction. Maybe not today or tomorrow, but definitely automation is in the next stage of the evolution of electric cars. With all that being said, have you also thought about self-driving cars? Do you think the future of the car industry includes self-driving? Let us know what you think in the comment section below. If you enjoyed this video, consider giving it a thumbs up and don't forget to share it with your friends. Until next time, thanks for watching AutoTech.